In the shadowy world of global security, few stories capture as much alarm and intrigue as the revelation of a secret North Korean missile base. A new report has surfaced detailing evidence that Pyongyang maintains a concealed facility designed not only to expand its missile capabilities, but also to bolster its nuclear arsenal in ways that could directly threaten the United States. The findings revive urgent debates about North Korea's intentions, the credibility of its promises on denuclearization, and the precarious balance of power in East Asia. For decades, North Korea has pursued its weapons programs under a cloak of secrecy, building an arsenal that defies international sanctions and diplomatic pressure. Despite public declarations of restraint at times, the regime of Kim Jong-un has consistently prioritized missile development, testing both short-range and long-range systems in defiance of United Nations resolutions. The new report, compiled through satellite imagery and intelligence assessments, suggests that the secret missile base is not a relic of the past, but an active and expanding site, one that could house intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, capable of carrying nuclear warheads across the Pacific. The implications are stark. If confirmed, the base would not only signal that North Korea is continuing to enhance its nuclear strike capacity, but also that it is doing so in a calculated way to evade detection. Hidden bases give Pyongyang a crucial advantage: the ability to preserve second strike capability in the event of conflict. This means that even if the US or its allies attempted a preemptive strike on known missile sites, North Korea could still retaliate from undisclosed locations. For Washington, Tokyo, and Seoul, this poses a chilling strategic dilemma. The timing of the report is also significant. It comes amid stalled diplomatic efforts, where engagement between the US and North Korea has been virtually frozen. Negotiations that once held the promise of denuclearization have been replaced with stalemate and distrust. North Korea, facing economic hardship and international isolation, has nonetheless pressed ahead with military advancements, banking on its weapons programs as both a deterrent and a bargaining chip. Critics of past U.S. policy argue that the focus on high-profile summits with Kim Jong-un yielded more symbolism than substance. While meetings generated headlines and momentary hopes for breakthrough agreements, North Korea never halted its covert development. The discovery of a hidden missile base underscores that point, reminding the world that behind smiles and handshakes, Pyongyang has remained steadfast in its strategic goals. For the United States, the report is a wake-up call that echoes beyond the Korean peninsula. The existence of such a base could mean that North Korea is closer than previously acknowledged to reliably threatening the U.S. homeland with nuclear weapons. Past tests of ICBMs demonstrated ranges that could reach cities such as Los Angeles or Chicago. A hidden, hardened launch site would enhance the survivability of those systems, raising the stakes for U.S. defense planners. The Pentagon has long tracked North Korea's activities through advanced surveillance, but the nature of underground facilities complicates verification. Analysts point out that North Korea has a history of building elaborate tunnels and bunkers designed to shield its military infrastructure from aerial attack. The possibility of a concealed base suggests a network that is more extensive than previously assumed, challenging assumptions about how many missiles Pyongyang actually possesses and where they are located. For U.S. allies in Asia, particularly South Korea and Japan, the news intensifies existing fears. Both nations live under the shadow of North Korean missile systems, many of which are already capable of delivering conventional or nuclear payloads within minutes of launch. A secret ICBM base aimed at the United States adds another layer of complexity, as it could alter Washington's willingness to intervene in a regional conflict if its own cities are under direct threat. This dynamic, known in strategic circles as decoupling, has long been one of North Korea's goals: to weaken the credibility of America's security guarantees to its allies by raising the cost of U.S. involvement. Internationally, the discovery places renewed pressure on China, North Korea's closest partner and economic lifeline. While Beijing has often shielded Pyongyang from the harshest international sanctions, it is also wary of instability on its border. A secret missile base capable of threatening the U.S. homeland complicates China's own strategic calculus, as it risks drawing the region closer to confrontation. Beijing must now weigh whether its continued support for North Korea serves its long-term interests, or whether unchecked nuclear expansion could backfire by driving South Korea, Japan, and even Taiwan towards stronger military postures, and closer alignment with Washington. The new report also raises fundamental questions about deterrence in the 21st century. Can the United States and its allies rely solely on missile defense systems to counter such threats? Or does the persistence of North Korea's hidden facilities demand a recalibration of U.S. strategy, ranging from enhanced sanctions to cyber operations targeting Pyongyang's weapons programs? Each option carries risks. Too much pressure could provoke escalation, while too little could embolden further development. At the heart of the matter is the unpredictability of Kim Jong-un himself. For North Korea's leadership, nuclear weapons are not merely a bargaining chip, but the ultimate guarantee of regime survival. Every missile base, declared or hidden, serves that core objective. The report's findings confirm what many analysts have long argued. Denuclearization is unlikely, and the world must instead prepare for a future where North Korea is a permanent nuclear power. In Washington, lawmakers are already calling for briefings and reassessments of U.S. posture on the Korean Peninsula. Some argue for a tougher stance, including expanded sanctions and military exercises with allies. Others warn that such moves could further alienate Pyongyang and close off even the faintest prospects of dialogue. The Biden administration, already grappling with crises in Ukraine and the South China Sea, now faces another pressing challenge to U.S. security credibility. Ultimately, the revelation of a secret North Korean missile base is more than a technical detail in a military report. It is a reminder of how fragile global stability remains. In an age of shifting power dynamics and multiplying threats, the existence of such facilities underscores the limits of diplomacy, the persistence of adversaries, and the sobering reality that nuclear danger remains a constant presence in international affairs. For the United States, the message is clear. The world's most closed-off regime has not paused, slowed, or abandoned its ambitions. On the contrary, it has continued to prepare, quietly and deliberately, for the day when its missiles can hold not only its neighbors, but also the American homeland at risk. And as the report warns, that day may be closer than many had feared.